Hi everyone, welcome to the last video in this series of 4 with our cute little dragons from Magical Worlds by Johanna Basford. We're using Holbein pencils and we are using this page from Practical Colour Combinations, and we are, just tuck that in, we're using this very last palette here. We've got all these pencils picked out. Now our very last palette, so we have here, we have our darkest green, which is the leaf green. We have our pale cream, which actually I've got the ivory. And we have the blue, the darker blue, which is the forget-me-not blue. So we have this combination of 3, which is what I'm going to be using for our dragon. And then in this bottom picture we have a couple more colours. So we have the 2, trying to work out what that is. That is the baby pink, and then, but that one looks like the baby pink. Is that the Princess Lilac? I think it might be these 2. I'm just going to double, yes. So we've got the rose pink and the lilac, which we're going to use for our accessories on the page. There's a lot, so that's going to be quite the challenge. Okay, so let's pop that aside and let's come in closer so we can see our dragon a little bit more easily. There we go. So we're going to start now. I've got, remember, ivory, leaf green and forget-me-not blue. I think I'm going to start with the ivory, and I am going to do the sort of our dragon's tummy. Now this is quite pale, so when I used this last time for a butterfly, I actually put some of the cream on top just so that you could see it better. I'm going to see how it pans out. It might be fine, so I'm just going to use this. I'm layering it up as much as I can to try to make it as intense as I can. I mean, I could probably layer it loads more, but with these very pale colours there is a limit to how much you can put down. I'm going to do the face in this colour too, and then I've got to think about what I think I might do to keep it really simple. Is I might do the scales in one colour and the wings in another. I think we'd leave those for a different colour. We do have a slight problem here. We have leaves here, 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 here and here, and we don't have the right colour. But who's to say what the right colour is, eh? We also have a problem in that that's not necessarily a problem. I think we'll be okay. Now here we have a bit here and here. I think we need to do the bit here, don't we? This bit in there. There we go. Okay, we're just gonna, I'm not going to worry, I'm just gonna carry on and think a little bit about how I'm going to deal with the lack of colours. But we now have the leaf green, and I'm going to, just checking my messages, do the scales with this. So very similar to yesterday, the scales were leaf green yesterday. Maybe I shouldn't do them leaf green. Does it be the same? No, let's do the wings in the leaf green instead, so it's different. So I'm going to do a similar thing though with the wings as I did yesterday, in that I'm going to do these sort of veiny bits, quite dark, and then do the bits in between a little bit lighter. Now my son just messaged to say he's finished his class early, but he's going to stay at uni, do a little bit of work, so sounds good. He's got 3/4 of an hour before he has to leave and get his train, or get ready to leave and get his train. So go. I think I'm going to make them darker here and lighter towards this outside. And I'm trying to decide whether to do the ear bits, the bits I've left on the ears, this colour, or whether to do them blue. Decisions. To be honest, I don't think it's going to make a great deal of difference. So I might do them this colour, because now, in case I forget, I think that's my biggest fear, that I'm going to forget to do it entirely. So let's just get it done. I'm very excited at the moment. My favourite dancing programme, I go bang on about it a lot, have just announced their pros, their professional dancers, and they're all the same ones as last year, but they're going to have a couple of new ones, so that's nice. I don't know any dancers in the sense that, you know, I don't really follow dancing apart from that one show. This is the Forget Me Not Blue. I'm using it for the scales. I'm just going to give it a sharpen. So I wouldn't know. And so people are going, oh, I hope it's so-and-so or so-and-so. And I'm thinking, I just don't know who they are. So we'll find out. But it's interesting getting some new ones, because I suppose last year I think they had a couple drop out the last minute, or got dropped out at the last minute. So it might be that they're filling in those gaps, I don't know. So I think they had 3 spare, so it seems like maybe they're getting more contestants. That might mean the series goes on for longer. That would be very exciting. Very exciting. An extra few weeks. Nice. We'll see though. I'm probably getting excited over nothing. It's usually not until sort of July, August until they start announcing the actual celebrities. But it's quite nice to see the pros. I guess they have signed all their contracts. But we start getting rumours about who's going to be in it, and often the press share their ideas. And I prefer not to look at that. I prefer to just wait and have the surprise. Not until the actual launch show, because that's you find out by then. But they put they strictly put it on their socials, so I follow it on there. They announce it. Oh, I've got an itch. I think they do it. They didn't used to, but I think they do it because they know the papers will leak it, because they'll see them going into rehearsals. So I think they just let you know early, and that's cool. It's just exciting. And one of the reasons, I think I need to do that little bit in cream, sorry, ivory. One of the reasons I get so excited is that it means that winter's coming. I realise how ludicrous that sounds when we haven't even had summer yet, and we've only just started getting some sunshine. I apologise to all those people that love hot sunny days. It's just not for me. But fortunately in the UK we don't get that many hot sunny days, and the weather is so unpredictable that you just never know what's going to happen. Really, I mean, obviously the Met Office try to predict, but in the place we live, because we're surrounded by hills, it doesn't seem, we've got our own microclimate really. You just don't know. It depends whether the cloud is high enough to make it over the hill or not, you know, that, or maybe it either gets stuck down here in the valley and we get lots of rain, or it just drifts over the top and or can't get it up and over. So it's always a bit of a gamble. And it's like, we haven't had rain for ages. Me and husband walked along a little muddy path today, and it was just, the mud was as hard as anything. It's clay because it's by the river. Canal and river run side by side in some areas, and it was all knobbly where it had been worn by bikes and things like that, and had been really thick mud, wet, sticky mud, where it had grooves worn in it, and then it just sort of set in this bit. It was quite funny, but it was so dry. Yeah, I think I'm going to do this little bit in cream. But it was quite interesting. We were walking past the river. I was going, "You going in for a paddle?" He's like, "You first." I was like, "No, no, no." Leaf green. We didn't. There we go. So there's our dragon. I think she looks quite cute. And we have got pink and purple. So this is the rose pink and the lilac to do everything else. Where should we start? We'll start with the flowers on her head and just work down, I think. So I'm going to, excuse me, do the pink. I'm just going to call it pink. It is rose pink for the petals. Like that. And then grab the lilac. I'm not going to keep showing you the name every time. You probably can't see it anyway. For the centres and the leaves. And there's the first little bit done. Now, in her basket, we have to make a decision. In her cauldron, I mean. Has she got apples? I'm thinking probably yes. So whatever I colour the apples, I need to colour those items. I think I'm just going to plump for a colour. And what I've done, stupidly, is that because I've done this in purple, the leaves for these are going to be pink. So it's going to be the reverse of that. Maybe that's okay. And so this flower has to be this colour too. And not those leaves. So now I'm going to grab my pink and do the flower centres. Leaves. It's quite strange, isn't it? And the whole cauldron. Pink cauldron. Cute, I think. I'm going to fade it towards the middle a bit to make it look maybe like it's a bit shiny. Also, Johanna's drawn these dark lines here to indicate it's darker there. So we can layer up a bit more here and here. And follow her guide, I suppose. And now we've got these. Now our last bit is this ground, and what I think will be the best is to use this same pink but just do it really lightly, because I think I can get a much lighter colour. So it's the same colour pencil, but it's just less intense, and I just think it'll work. I'm holding my breath, perhaps a bit more, because the leaves are quite intense. I think it can work. There we go. I almost thought that she had like a bag of Easter eggs, a cauldron of Easter eggs or something. Maybe she does, who knows? But there she is. So there's our finished little dragon, and we finished the whole page now. Oh, no, but we haven't, have we? As we need to do a little bit of shadow with our cold grey 3, of course. So I was just looking at her thinking, she needs something under the arms like that, under her chin. I think probably just a bit there and there, and then down here. I'm not going to do too much. I think that's probably enough. She says doing a bit more. There we go. I'm just going to leave it there. I'm not going to do shadow everywhere, just on her. There she is, finished. And now I'm going to show you the whole page. So let's put it into short, the book behind us here. Just put it that way. We can take that away too, Lost Ocean. And if I turn it that way, can you see? I think so. There it is, the finished page. All the little cute dragons, so there they are. Now you may want to go over their teeth, like these three have a little fang. I've coloured over these two by mistake, and really a bit of white pen might just make them stand out a little bit, but I'm not going, I think it would really stand out, and I'm not sure that's what I want. So I wonder if it will sit better like that. That's better. Sometimes yeah. So you might want to do that, and you might want to add white dots here and there, but I'm happy with it as it is. So there it is. So that was a lot of fun, and I'm probably going to go next door, edit this, and do another picture from the book. Another page, another palette, I should say. I'll probably just grab all the pencils of a palette and just have a go. And I will let you know, so when I do my completed pages at the end of the month, if I've used a palette from the book, I will show you it so that you can see and compare, or I might put a photo in my socials, not sure. But anyway, thank you for watching. I do hope that you have a really super day, and happy colouring.